Hi, morning, afternoon, sup, my peoples, So I decided, I did post a video yesterday. Every video that I post, I always like think about it instead of rewatching it. I kind of remember some stuff that I speak about. So the reason I may make another video just to kind of cover some other things. I know that there's a point of contention, which is the main thing. One point of contention regarding Daunte Wright, or just all this, the level of accountability that both people have with regards to responding to, shit going on, okay? I said, play it by ear. If I'm not mistaken, play it by ear. But most times you shouldn't run from police. Like, if people are around, like it's outside, like a nigga's obviously probably not gonna be able to shoot because like there's people around. Like, one, you're most likely not gonna be in this many instances to know, right? But I guess the distinction, understanding what would be a good opportunity to run, you kind of know. Most people, if you're in this situation, you shouldn't, it's kind of on you. If you're in so many situations, you gotta kind of figure out when you should run from police. But it'd be some shit, like a party got broken up, you ran away. This is like shit, right? Some situations like this, uncalled for people running away. Homie had a warrant. Okay, that woman who killed and stuff down, that's obvious. That's obvious. But moving forward, people need to still have some predictive and preventative measures, okay? So we have to focus on this kid, and you can check out my other content on white supremacy, all that. There's some video somewhere. I have some video somewhere where where like I touched that. Even though right. There's some out there from me. Homie had a warrant. You're aware of all these things going on right now. Your parents have never spoken to you about things you ought do. Your parents haven't made an effort to speak with you about certain things you should do. Your parents haven't told you about certain ways you should act when police are around you. Now, a point that people are a real good fruitful discussion out of this is, yeah, even if you're in that situation, it doesn't justify a police officer shooting you. That's the like the big boy, like, break apart discussion, right? Like, how are they not trained well enough to have different ways to stop their target and shit and all that? Because if you go to any other EU country, if you go to EU countries and shit, these niggas aren't, man, how many videos you be seeing of cops just getting their ass beat? But in terms of crimes that are there, the types of crimes, they don't have so many gun crimes. They have knife crimes, but nothing compared to our gun crimes. These pale in comparison, okay? These pale in comparison. Okay, that's a big like you see, like, obviously police are able to work certain things differently. There was something in New York where like these EU police officers were on a train and they subdued these guys, and like one dude like, oh, I can't breathe or some shit, and the guy was like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah. Like they had different ways to modify people's behavior with some sort of physical contact. It's different, right? If you a lot, this that man never had a conversation with anyone, even his parents, about some actions that would contribute to reducing the probability of him having an interaction with a police officer where he dies. I'm gonna blame the kid a little bit. I'm gonna do it. You have to. There has to be something, right? And unfortunately, there's the area in the air where it's like, damn, some people are not even gonna be exposed to how to respond to the police correctly. Well, yeah, that's an unfortunate situation. So the idea is, instead of niggas being caught up in these basic conversations, we should already be excelling, pushing against white supremacy and changing the system fundamentally. right? Because if people aren't in crime-ridden communities, then there's not going to be crime. If people aren't working low-income or living low-income lives because they're limited in the opportunities they have, then you're not going to run into a shit where police officers are even running off of stereotypes. So I have to blame him for what's going on. I have to do some level of accountability for now. Parents, if you have kids moving forward, you gotta let your kid know at some point how things are not the same for them being a black person or mixed versus a white person, or just in general how they should interact with police. So let me give some tips on how to interact with police. One, don't make any sudden movements. You need to treat them like they're rabid. You need to treat them like they're rabid dogs. You need to treat them like they're a rabid fox. You need to treat them like they will blow up as some killer at any minute. You cannot make any abrupt movements. This is one thing that you should be aware of. Two, whenever you're making movements or saying you're doing something, you let the police officer know. I know a lot happens in real time. I've been in this situation before, so can't nobody tell me anything about, oh, regardless of how you look, nigga, I've been in enough interactions with police, just stop me, okay? To enough, okay? Let them know, all right, I'm going into my wallet right now. I'm going into my backpack to pick out my like, these are things you want to let them know. Because if they got this helps you in another way. If they have a body camera, some bad shit happened to me, that can't be removed. That's there, right? I was letting you know what was being done. You gonna shoot at me, you kill me? Right? What actions increase the probability of you not dying with this interaction with this police officer? Speak slow. Don't make any sudden movements. Now, respecting a police officer, this is more malleable. Me, I do like a passive-aggressive, tongue-in-cheek insult thing to cops. I do that often. If you're gonna shit on a police officer, don't get in their face. If you're gonna shit on a police officer, I think depending on the situation you're in, you can curse. I'd say it's just better to not curse. But insulting a police officer in other ways, it's like good. Like, you know, let's say for instance, where's your ID? Well, I'm on the public. Why do I need my ID? I'm just asking you. Well, you're asking me, but like, why do you need my ID? Is there something, there's some investigation? Am I about to be detained? Like, what's the reason? And even if you're outside, remember, certain places, many places, you don't have to be in certain areas with public identification. If I was in a park right now and this happened to me, this is the most recent time I've ever had with a police officer in a park. What are you doing? Just walking around. You have an ID. It's nighttime and the park's not closed. Why do I need an ID? You have to find out if you want to engage in some little like belittling of the police officer and knowing that they're kind of doing some fucked up shit, or it may be an instance where it's genuine. But anyway, if you want to go down that, you should not engage in any words that are indicative of implying that you will harm them. That is something you're not supposed to do. But do you have to respect a police officer? No. These are the bounds, right? Respect a police officer 100%. Don't threaten their life. There's a lot of gray area here you can take advantage of, and I've done it more than once. Police officers, they just don't fucking like me. I call them my servants. I do all sorts of shit. Call them fucking morons. You fucking idiot. Or probably fuck their daughter. You know, I use that before and after Cardi, but you know, that don't matter. You know, anybody can make that up all of a sudden. You know, niggas say that about random shit. I think these are in general like good tips, right? To those three things, right? Be slow, let them know what's going on before you make any sudden movements, and watch your language and don't imply that you're gonna hurt them. These are three things that are good. I think these are good. My hands are dry as fuck on COVID, nigga. This shit crusty as a motherfucking bitch, but I think those are decent tips. And the idea is, yes, we should make an effort to move forward. Yes, you should make an effort to improve these problems. But people need to understand this. I'll end it off with this. There's so much I can say. I don't want to ramble. I'm working on not being as pedantic and all that. This is it, okay? This is how, I'll never forget this, okay? One of my friends said, okay? Long ago, over 5-6 years. There are two worlds, okay? There's how the world is and how you want it to be, okay? If you end up conflating these two, right, you can end up putting yourself in many situations that you didn't want. And yeah, you can like complain about things, but the reality is, in that time, are there things that you could have done? And I put it at the end of this, right? Some people are like, oh my God, like, and the reason I say that is, yeah, the world's fucked up, but are you supposed to approach police officers a certain way or interact with them a certain way? Yes. Why the fuck does that need to happen? I understand. Why the fuck do you need to bitch out a little bit for police? Here's what I'm saying, okay? What the fuck matters? You got home alive though. You're out of that situation alive, right? I don't give a fuck about me fucking sucking you off, me. I don't have to be really nice to you. But if I have to engage in things that would lower the probability of police officers thinking I'm being aggressive or something and they want to beat my ass, yeah, I'ma do it. Then you can complain. Then you can get a lawyer. Then you can do all of that. There's so many ways you can try and hold the police officer accountable after the fact. But if you're dead, what is gonna be done, bro? Can nobody resurrect you? Can nobody resurrect you? How are you going to, how do you want to live in the world how you want it to be, and then not realize that, you know, if you stay this way, that it's not going to help you out? People have to. You have to. There's no way around it. So, you know, people have to make sure they're not, you know, working in their fence land. The fact that homie was in a literal scuffle, that was seconds. Homie was in a scuffle. And he thought that was going to be a good thing. Well, depending on what happened in the last year plus, come on, man. And he seemed coherent, his parents seemed coherent, so what happened? Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit.